niche fragrances for men that are worth every penny. So I've compiled a small list here of niche fragrances that I think are just really, really good. Great performance. They smell good. It's really hard to go wrong with any of these. And as always, all the fragrances that I mentioned will be available in the Amazon associate links down in the description below. I'm going to start with one that's pretty well known for a niche fragrance, which is Parfum de Mali Leighton. This is a really good option if you like sweet, spicy men's fragrances. This has cardamom in it for the most part, for the spicy part, and it also has a nice citrusy opening as well. But for the most part, you're getting a lot of spice. Kind of tingles the nose when you smell it. It's also very warm. The sweetness that it has adds quite a bit of warmth to it. So definitely not really a fragrance for warmer weather. Really better for the winter or autumn, but for the most part, besides that, it is quite versatile. It's going to last a really long time. I found that this is, for the most part, a 7 to 8, more like 8-hour fragrance. So you don't really need to reapply it. It's going to last most of the day, most of the night, whenever you decide to wear this. And it's obviously a luxurious option, being from Parfum de Mali. Some people aren't a fan of the sweetness that it has, which is a personal preference, but I personally don't think this is a very sweet fragrance. There are definitely men's fragrances that are way, way sweeter than this, so out of 10 from sweetness, I would say this is maybe a 4, maybe a 5, so very moderate sweetness on this. But moving on from this one, a really good unisex option is Oud Satin Mood. This is delicious, especially if you like oud. This is mixed with Turkish rose as a very complementary note to the oud. Oud alone is very musky, kind of animalistic, that sort of thing, very rugged. You mix it with a little bit of rose, and it smooths out automatically. The rose adds a little bit of sweetness, not as much as Leighton, but just a little bit of sweetness to, again, mellow out that oud note. And this is just one of my favorite fragrances for both men and women. I always have good things to say about this, but I do have to say it just because I like it so much. It's probably in my top 10. But this is really long lasting as well, about 8 to 9 hours, maybe even 10, depending. It's not going to fail you, that's for sure. But again, you do have to like oud, and you do have to be prepared for the rose note. Not every man is going to agree with the rose note, even though I think it's just a pretty mild, note. It's nothing special. But for the most part, as long as you like oud, you should like this quite a lot. Then, going on for actually another pretty luxurious option here. This is Creed Green Irish Tweed. This is a good kind of classic staple. If you really want to have a fragrance for the occasions where you want to be really sophisticated, really put together, really elegant and masculine, this is your best bet, because this, since the 80s when it came out, has been associated with, the sophisticated man, a confident, powerful man. It's primarily lemon verbena, kind of musk from the ambergris. I believe there's some wood notes in there, a little bit of violet thrown in, but for the most part it's fresh but also warm. Now, longevity is a little bit less on this one, about 6 hours, maybe up to 7, depending. But for this lighter type of fragrance, it's not trying to show off, it's not in your face, it's not obnoxious. Again, it's a little bit more formal, more mature, more sophisticated. So it's just a very particular type of fragrance for men. And it is, a luxury option, being from Creed, definitely a top shelf choice. Definitely good for very special occasions. You're going out to dinner, going out on a nice date, going to the office, more of those kind of, you want to dress to impress sort of thing. Moving on from this one, another good unisex option is Initio Musk Therapy here. This is quite nice if you want to go for a really subtle scent. Again, the main thing obviously here, musk therapy, that's what you're gonna get, musk. Now, the musk here is not very strong. Again, this is a subtle fragrance. It's not super animalistic, it's just this general warmth and coziness that the fragrance provides. Besides the musk itself, which is technically white musk, so it's quite light, it also has a little bit of citrus and then a little bit of woodsy notes with very few florals to kind of balance it out. But for the most part, you're getting those woodsy notes and the musk. Again, it's because it is a subtle fragrance, it's really not going to last that long, maybe about 4 hours. But again, if you do purposely want to go for a subtle and more intimate fragrance, this is a good option because a lot of those light fragrances are for women, they're more feminine, but this is still masculine enough for men, obviously, because of the musk. But maybe you're not into the whole subtle thing, maybe you want a really, really strong fragrance, then the last one I have is a really, really strong fragrance, which is Monera, feel the focus, red tobacco. This you'd have to be careful with because it can give you a headache if you put on too much. You really only need to put on a few spritzes and you're good to go. This is a tobacco vanilla type of fragrance. It's also pretty sweet, kind of on the same level as Lhomme, so moderate sweetness for a male fragrance. But this is really, really good. Definitely if you are looking for something smoky but also sweet, kind of that nice blend, kind of along the lines of Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, just with a little twist. This is kind of your best bet. And again, super long lasting, like 10, 12 hours. Basically, it's going to stick around until you purposely wash it off because it just likes to stick to your skin and it won't leave you alone. But you'd have to be careful with this because it is so strong, it really clings to you. And you can go nose blind to it pretty quickly, but everyone else around you can smell it full blast. So again, just a few sprays of this and you're good to go. But that is pretty much my list here of niche fragrances that are worth every penny. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, of course, you can always leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos like this throughout the week, so stick around for those.